Rick Barry is a name that stands out in basketball history, but not always for the reasons you might think. While he was undoubtedly one of the most skilled players to ever step onto a basketball court, his legacy is a mix of both praise and controversy. In this video, we will explore the life and career of one of the most talented and controversial players to ever grace the hardwood. Let's kick things off in 1965. The San Francisco Warriors have just drafted a 21-year-old small forward with the second overall pick. His name? Richard Francis Dennis Barry III, but you can call him Rick. Now, most rookies need some time to adjust to the NBA game, not Rick Barry. This guy comes out of the gate like a house on fire, putting up numbers that would make most veterans blush: 25.7 points and 10.6 rebounds per game. Oh, and he casually wins Rookie of the Year. No big deal, right? But here's the thing. Barry was just getting started. Fast forward to the second season of Barry. Hold on tight, everyone, because this is where things start to get really crazy. Barry wasn't just scoring, he was leading. The Warriors went from 17 wins to 44 wins in 2 years, making it all the way to the NBA Finals. And in that finals series against the 68-win Philadelphia 76ers, Barry goes nuclear, averaging 40.8 points per game, including a 55-point explosion in Game 5. At this point, you're probably thinking, this guy sounds like the greatest player ever. Why haven't I heard more about him? Well, strap in, because this is where Barry's story takes a turn. Just when Barry seemed poised to take over the NBA, he did something unprecedented. He jumped ship to the ABA. Now you might be thinking, what's the big deal? Players change teams all the time. But you've got to remember, this was 1967. Free agency didn't exist. Players were basically stuck with whatever team drafted them. So when Barry decided to bounce to the ABA for a fat paycheck, it caused quite the stir. Barry's move to the ABA wasn't just about money, though. It was a legal battle that forced him to sit out an entire season. When he finally returned to action with the Oakland Oaks, he picked up right where he left off, averaging 34 points per game. But then, as if the basketball gods decided Barry's career wasn't complicated enough, he suffered a knee injury that would plague him for the rest of his career. Over the next few years, Barry's career became a roller coaster of team changes, legal battles, and of course, buckets. Lots and lots of buckets. By 1972, the courts had spoken, and Rick Barry found himself back in the NBA with the Golden State Warriors. After a period of legal battles and personal setbacks, Barry's return to the league marked a new chapter in his career. With renewed determination and a fresh start, he rejoined the Warriors, a team that would soon become the stage for some of his most impressive performances. It was in these years with Golden State that Barry's skills truly shone. His leadership and talent helped transform the Warriors into a formidable team, culminating in an NBA championship victory in 1975. This period was a testament to Barry's resilience and ability to elevate his game when it mattered most, proving that, despite the challenges he faced, the best was indeed yet to come. In the 1974 to 1975 season, at the ripe old age of 30, Barry had what many consider the best season of his career. He averaged 30.6 points, 6.2 assists, 5.7 rebounds, and 2.9 steals per game. But the real story? He led the Warriors to an NBA championship, sweeping the heavily favored Washington Bullets in the finals. Barry was on top of the world. The Warriors were favorites to repeat the next year. But then, well, this is where things get a little messy. The controversy surrounding Rick Barry's performance in Game 7 of the 1976 Western Conference Finals remains a contentious topic in NBA history. In Game 7 against the Phoenix Suns, Barry got into an on-court altercation with Ricky Sobers early in the game. After this incident, Barry's play and demeanor reportedly changed dramatically for the rest of the game. Critics and some teammates accused Barry of essentially quitting on the team in the second half. There were rumors that Barry chose not to shoot or score as a way to teach his teammates a lesson. Some observers noted that Barry seemed disengaged and wasn't moving or calling for the ball as he normally would. Barry has denied the accusations, calling them absolute bullshit. He claims he was trying to get his teammates more involved after they were doing too much one-on-one play. Barry insists he never watched video of the fight at halftime or intentionally stopped shooting. The Warriors lost the game 94-86, ending their season and championship hopes. This incident tarnished Barry's reputation and legacy to some degree. It remains one of the most controversial moments in Barry's career and NBA playoff history. While Barry maintains his innocence, the dramatic shift in his play and the observations of opponents and teammates have kept this controversy alive for decades. The truth may never be fully known, but it's clear this game had a significant impact on perceptions of Barry and the Warriors' missed opportunity in 1976. So, what do we make of Rick Barry? On one hand, you've got a player with otherworldly talent, a 12-time All-Star, a champion, the 24th highest scorer in combined NBA/ABA history, a guy with the highest NBA Finals scoring average ever at 36.3 points per game. On the other hand, you've got a player who was, to put it mildly, not the most popular guy in the locker room. Don't believe me? Let's hear from some of his former teammates and colleagues. Ken Macker, former Warriors executive. You'll never find a bunch of players sitting around talking about the good old days with Rick. His teammates and his opponents thoroughly detested him. Robert Parrish, NBA Hall of Famer, said, "He had a bad attitude, like he was always looking down at you." But Barry's controversies didn't end when he hung up his sneakers. In 1981, while working as an analyst for CBS, Barry made some questionable comments about Bill Russell during a broadcast. Let's just say the term watermelon grin was used, and Russell's face said it all. For all his faults and the controversy surrounding him, Rick Barry was an absolute baller. He led a team with rookie Jamal Wilkes as the second best player to an NBA championship. He retired with the highest career free throw percentage of all time and is still fourth all-time in that category. Barry was also one of the first players to challenge the reserve clause, paving the way for free agency, even though he lost the case. But in spite of these incredible achievements, Barry is often remembered for less flattering reasons. Many people think of him as that guy who shot granny-style free throws or that arrogant, self-entitled player nobody liked. So, where does Rick Barry stand in the pantheon of NBA greats? It's complicated. On pure talent and achievement, he's undoubtedly one of the greatest to ever do it. His scoring prowess was otherworldly, his free throw shooting was revolutionary, and his impact on the game is undeniable. But basketball isn't played in a vacuum. It's a team sport, and Barry's inability to get along with his teammates undoubtedly impacted his legacy. In the end, Rick Barry remains one of the most polarizing figures in NBA history, a player whose talent was matched only by his capacity for controversy, a legend who, for better or worse, did things his way. Love him or hate him, one thing's for sure, there will never be another Rick Barry.